Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, Alaska, became the stage for a pivotal summit in August 2025, drawing the eyes of the world to this remote yet strategically vital outpost. The world watched with bated breath as US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin met face-to-face for the first time since Trump's dramatic return to office, marking a new chapter in global diplomacy. Alaska's rugged landscape and strategic location were no accident. This was a deliberate show of strength, a reminder of the region's historical significance and its proximity to Russia. Security was at its highest, with every detail meticulously planned to project power and ensure the safety of both leaders, as military police and armed personnel patrolled every corner. The meeting's backdrop, a military base, not a diplomatic hall, sent a clear message. Diplomacy here was backed by military readiness, and the stakes were higher than ever. The agenda was ambitious. At the very top, the ongoing war in Ukraine, a conflict that had drawn in nations and threatened to destabilize the world order. Trump aimed to broker a ceasefire, seeking a direct, personal connection with Putin, hoping that his unique style of negotiation could break the deadlock. This wasn't about signing treaties on the spot, but about establishing a foundation for future negotiations, building trust where suspicion had long reigned. The symbolism of Alaska, so close to Russia, yet fiercely American, underscored the stakes, highlighting both the tension and the potential for cooperation. As the leaders exchanged a firm handshake, the world scrutinized every gesture, searching for signs of progress or discord in their body language. The summit was a test of will, a high-stakes encounter that could become a turning point in US-Russia relations, with both delegations aware of the immense pressure. After brief formalities, the presidents moved to a secure facility for private talks, away from the cameras, where real decisions would be made. The world's eyes followed, aware that every word, every pause, could shift the balance of power and alter the course of history. Alaska's harsh environment, with its biting winds and unforgiving cold, mirrored the tough negotiations ahead, a fitting backdrop for such a critical meeting. The location itself became part of the message. Proximity demands dialogue, but strength and vigilance underpin every conversation between these two powers. This was a meeting where survival and strength were paramount, and where every decision could have far-reaching consequences. The outcome of this summit could shape international stability for years, influencing alliances, economies, and the very fabric of global security. The leaders knew the stakes. Two nuclear powers, each with the ability to alter the fate of the world, facing off in a moment of truth. The world waited, hopeful for progress, wary of failure, knowing that peace or conflict could hinge on the outcome of these talks. In Alaska, as the sun rose over the military base, the future of global security truly hung in the balance, with every moment of the summit echoing across continents. As Putin's plane touched down on the tarmac, the sky above suddenly erupted with power. A B-2 Spirit stealth bomber, flanked by a squadron of F-35s, thundered overhead in a breathtaking display. The roar of engines echoed across the airfield, drawing every eye upward. This was no mere ceremonial flyby. It was a meticulously orchestrated show of American military might, designed to send a message that could not be ignored. Putin paused at the top of the stairs, taking in the spectacle, fully aware of the message being delivered before a single word was spoken between leaders. The B-2, a symbol of US global reach and stealth, and the F-35s, the world's most advanced multi-role fighters, set the tone for the summit, one of strength, readiness, and technological superiority. Instantly, social media buzzed with excitement and awe. This was an insane flex, a bold reminder of American dominance that quickly went viral around the world. The flyby was more than just spectacle. It was strategic theater, blending a dramatic welcome with a subtle but unmistakable deterrence. The message was clear and deliberate. The US was open to dialogue, but even more prepared to defend its interests and act decisively if needed. Alaska's F-35s, stationed at the edge of the Arctic, are the tip of America's northern defense, underscoring the region's growing strategic importance in global affairs. The display framed the entire summit, peace talks unfolding under the unmistakable shadow of overwhelming force and capability. In geopolitics, strength and resolve set the stage for negotiation, shaping the tone and boundaries of every discussion. The flyby ensured that America's position was not just heard, but seen and felt by all present. It was a bold, unapologetic statement of resolve, a declaration that the U.S. would not be underestimated. The world took note. Dialogue at this summit would be shaped, and perhaps even defined, by the unmistakable presence of power. The leaders entered the talks, knowing exactly where they stood, the memory of the flyby fresh in their minds. The echo of jet engines lingered in the air, a silent but powerful reminder throughout the summit's tense discussions. In Alaska, diplomacy and deterrence walked hand in hand, each step forward shadowed by the presence of military might. The opening act of power was over. Now the real negotiations, fraught with tension and high stakes, were set to begin. The stakes had never been clearer, and every decision would echo far beyond the summit walls. Alaska's selection for the summit was no coincidence. Its unique position on the world map made it the ideal stage for such a high-profile event. It's the only U.S. state sharing a maritime border with Russia, separated by the narrow Bering Strait, just a few miles of water between two global powers. This proximity makes Alaska a frontline in U.S.-Russia competition, where military activity and surveillance are constant realities. The Arctic's resources and new shipping routes are increasingly vital, promising economic opportunity and strategic leverage for those who control them. Hosting the summit here spotlighted the region's strategic importance, drawing global attention to Alaska's pivotal role in international affairs. Alaska is a fortress, home to F-22s, F-35s, advanced radar, and missile defense. Its military infrastructure is among the most advanced in the world. Bringing Putin to this military hub showcased U.S. commitment to Arctic security, sending a clear message about American resolve. The remote base offered control and focus for high-stakes talks, ensuring privacy and minimizing outside interference. Alaska's wilderness was a fitting metaphor for tough negotiations, untamed, challenging, and demanding resilience from all involved. The location was both bridge and barrier, neutral ground but firmly American, symbolizing both connection and division. It reminded both sides of the stakes and the power at play, underscoring the gravity of every decision made here. In Alaska, vigilance is a way of life, a constant reminder that peace and security require unwavering attention. Amid the power displays, a recent F-35 crash at Eielson Air Force Base was a sobering reminder of risk. The pilot ejected safely, but the $200 million jet was lost. The incident shocked the Air Force and triggered an immediate investigation. Even the most advanced technology can fail, especially in Alaska's harsh environment. The crash underscored the need for constant vigilance and rigorous maintenance. In the Arctic, both pilots and machines are pushed to their limits. The lessons learned would be vital for the future of the F-35 fleet. The F-35 crash investigation revealed a critical maintenance error. Water contaminated the hydraulic fluid, freezing mid-flight and jamming a landing gear valve. The plane's computer was tricked into thinking it was on the ground, making it uncontrollable. The root cause: improper handling of hydraulic fluids by maintenance crews. The pilot, unable to recover, was forced to eject. The incident led to immediate changes in maintenance protocols, especially for cold weather operations. Training was updated to address sensor failures. The crash was a costly lesson. Even the best technology is only as reliable as its upkeep. In high-performance aviation, there's no room for error. The F-35 program would not forget this lesson. The skies near Alaska are a constant arena for U.S.-Russia signaling. During summit week, NORAD intercepted Russian aircraft near Alaska 3 times. These were reconnaissance and bomber flights, routine but closely monitored. Russian planes entered the Alaskan Air Defense Identification Zone, never U.S. airspace. NORAD scrambled F-22s and F-16s, supported by refueling and AWACS aircraft. The response was swift and professional, demonstrating constant readiness. The timing was no accident. Russia signaled its presence during high-level talks. These flights test U.S. response and project Russian power in the Arctic. Dialogue and deterrence coexist in these cold northern skies. The great power game continues, one intercept at a time. Behind closed doors, Trump and Putin tackled the war in Ukraine. Trump pressed for a ceasefire, warning of consequences if escalation continued. Talks were direct and tough, with nuclear arms control and counter-terrorism also on the table. The summit aimed to re-establish communication, not solve every issue. Alaska's military backdrop underscored the stakes, dialogue backed by strength. As talks ended, both sides agreed to continue negotiations. No breakthroughs, but a channel was opened. Teams would work on a potential Ukraine ceasefire. The world watched, hopeful for progress. As Putin departed, a final message soared overhead. An F-35 Lightning II shadowed the Russian presidential plane out of U.S. airspace. This was no ordinary escort. It was a calculated display of vigilance. The F-35's presence was a silent, powerful signal. America is always watching. The maneuver was assertive, not aggressive, reinforcing the day's messages. Cameras captured the moment, and it quickly made global headlines. The escort continued until Putin's plane cleared the ADIs. Only then did the F-35 peel away, returning to base. The world saw a confident, watchful America. The summit ended with a final, silent word in the sky. In the Arctic, power and diplomacy are never far apart. The Alaska summit was a lesson in modern geopolitics. Dialogue and defense are equally vital. Military displays and constant vigilance underscore that peace must be actively protected. The Arctic's strategic importance is rising as climate change opens new frontiers. Competition will intensify, making readiness and communication essential. NORAD's interceptions and air power demonstrations are necessary for stability. But strength alone isn't enough. Direct leader-to-leader talks are crucial. The future demands a balanced deterrence and diplomacy, vigilance and hope. The F-35's silent escort symbolized strength. The summit itself, the possibility of peace. In Alaska, the world glimpsed both the risks and the hope of a new era.